Welcome back. I'm your host today, Keith Alexander, and thank you for watching the Early Entertainment Show. Now I want to start off today by introducing you guys to a segment we call Movie of the Week. This is where each of our crew picks a movie for the week and gives a rank and recommendation. This week, here are our picks. I chose Assassination Nation. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's a pretty good movie. And my friend Tristan here, he picked Old Man with a Gun. He gave it a 5 out of 5. He says it's a pretty good movie, and he said he premiered it at a film festival, I think he said, in Hot Springs. And Marion chose To All the Boys I've Loved. I have seen this movie before on Netflix. It's pretty good. So she gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Leah's pick was Crazy Rich Asians. I've also seen that movie. It's a pretty good movie, and they're also already talking about making a sequel to this one. She gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Now, Adam, he chose Hold the Dark. Now, this is the only movie out of these that I haven't seen, but he did give it a 5 out of 5, so maybe you should probably check it out. I'll check it out, too. Next up, we have seen new trailers in the past few weeks, including the generational X-Men film Dark Phoenix and Marvel's villain movie Venom, which they're trying to do some new stuff with it, and I think it's pretty good. Also, A Star is Born, a film with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But the trailer I'm most excited to see is Glass. Luckily, we have it here for you, and we'll play it right now.
It's amazing to meet you. It is simply extraordinary. Maybe this will all make sense if I explain who I am.
My name is Dr. Ellie Staple, and I'm a psychiatrist.
My work concerns a particular type of delusion of grandeur. It's a growing field. I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes.
Good for you.
The three of you've convinced yourselves you have extraordinary gifts like something out of a comic book. David Dunn, the only person to survive that train wreck all those years ago.
What do you do?
I'm in security.
You think you have superpowers.
It's a feeling. Vision. I have to touch them.
You believe you are a protector.
My name is Patricia.
I have no question there are 24 identities
I'm Mary Reynolds. Por favor, señora. We almost got you, bro.
that live in that body with you.
The beast is coming any minute now for you guys.
But what I am questioning is your belief that you are something more than human.
And yet, it is true. My bones break easily. I've had 94 breaks in my life.
But you have an extraordinary IQ.
This is not a cartoon. This is the real world.
No way.
And yet, some of us still don't die with bullets. Some of us can still bend steel. I've been waiting for the world to see that we exist. May I meet the beast? I hope for your sake that he likes you. That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. A lot of people are going to die. Don't do this. Are you ready?
What do we call you, sir?
First name, Mr. Last name, Glass.
Glass is a suspense, mystery, drama, sci-fi sort of mashup from the trailblazing director M. Night Shyamalan. This film will be starring some of my and America's favorite actors, including James McAvoy from movies such as Split, Bruce Willis from the Die Hard series, and Samuel Jackson from pretty much every movie ever. the reason I'm excited about this movie is that I love when filmmakers create a world around the movies, and this is exactly what this film tries to do with sort of a continuation of two other films, Split and Unbreakable, which stars Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson. But really, this movie is going to be super cool to me. I like how M. Night Shyamalan is transforming the superhero genre, sort of as if New Mutants is trying to do with the superhero genre, making a horror film. But this is sort of a mix-up between horror and sci-fi drama. This movie Glass is about three men who are put in an insane asylum where the patients are being treated for a condition where they think they have superhuman powers. And Mr. Glass, played by Jackson, is attempting to rope in a new patient, Kevin, played by James McAvoy. James McAvoy, oddly enough, is also the Charles Xavier from X-Men, the movie I just previously mentioned, New Mutants. And I think this movie's going to be really cool because have you seen the scenes from the trailer we just watched where he's running across the lawn? I think that this spin on this superhero movie is going to be pretty cool. And the color blocking in this movie, the sound design, all of it I think is going to be pretty cool. And now also with this movie, I think that M. Night Shyamalan is trying to transform his direction and how he portrays his self-directing in movies. I feel as if his previous movies, such as Split and Unbreakable, were sort of conventional type movies, and he's trying to break away from that, sort of like how Marvel is trying to break away from superhero movies, like with the movie Venom I just mentioned. But now that we have that, when we come back, we'll be joined with Liz, who will give us all the gossip news.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back to the Early Entertainment Show. Now we head over to Liz with the gossip.
Oh, is that me? Welcome to Tea Time with Liz. Today, I will be going over some of the highlight drama that happened in the past week. And there was a lot, so bear with me. Up first, we have rapper Cardi B, whose real name is Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, who turned herself into the New York Police Department and was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment and 1 misdemeanor count of assault. The charges come from an incident that happened in a strip club back in August where she was said to have attacked 2 girls who worked there, one of which was suspected to have slept with Cardi B's fiancé, rapper Offset. Her court date is set to happen this month on October 29th. Even more arrests were made when comedian Amy Schumer and model actress Emily Ratajkowski were among more than 300 people who were arrested Thursday in protest over the Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. This protest was happening outside of the U.S. Senate building and was held to challenge Kavanaugh's nomination after 3 women accused him of various forms of sexual misconduct. Everyone who was arrested got processed, but no charges were filed. On a more concerning note, Rihanna is just one of the many celebrities that have been targeted by home invasions for the past few weeks. Investigators now say what seemed to be like a string of random burglaries targeting celebrities is now part of a gang operation in which suspects pick the homes based on social media postings and the celebrities' travel schedules. Among the celebrities that have already been hit, we have Christina Milian, baseball player Yasiel Puig, football player Robert Woods. LAPD have arrested the 3 suspects that were thought to have been involved in the burglaries. At the home of the suspects, detectives have also found a list of other celebrities that they had planned to burglarize in the future, which included Viola Davis, LeBron James, and Matt Damon. Authorities have warned celebrities to increase their home security. You guessed it, Kanye, which now goes by Ye, is now back and making headlines once again. Kanye had a rant about supporting Trump and the Democrats and how bad his rant happened after his performance on SNL, after a performance of him with feature artist Lil Pump that were both dressed in Fiji water and wine cooler costumes. And after the credits rolled, Ye went on a long rant of his support to President Trump. And he was even going as far as saying, "Make America great again." And he just said that and kept saying it, technically worded as his superhero cape. His rant was met with boos from the crowd. And yeah, nobody was very happy to hear that. All right, now, while we take a commercial break, you can head to TMZ to watch the full video of Kanye and his outburst.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So. I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
All right, well, that's all I have for you today, and we'll see you back with more tea. Back to you, Keto. I didn't know.
In a second, we will be joined by DJ Kane, and right now we're going to have an introductional video to tell you who's about.
It's DJ Kane right here in the streets on Fleet TV. Make sure you keep it locked right here for exclusive artist interviews, videos, and what's happening in Arkansas and, of course, all over the world, all right? You can also follow me on all social media at HustleBoy DJ Kane, and download my new app as well from the Google Store and the Apple Store, HustleBoy DJ Kane, all right? It's Fleet TV, and this is the show you're watching right here. It's called In the Streets with DJ Kane.
It's the rapper, baby!
Now we are here with DJ Kane, and we're going to ask the questions that we want to ask. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. We just came to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
So how long have you been in the business?
Man, without telling my age, man, more than 15 years.
More than 15 years? So how do you think you got that start about 15 minutes ago?
Man, 15 years ago? Okay, yeah. I know some people be looking about 15 minutes of fame, but nah, man, growing up, man, I really adapted to liking music. And I grew up listening to like Jazzy Jeff, Kid Capri, some of those DJs, man. And I would mimic them. I had 2 record players, and I would mimic them, man. And then I just caught on and just started DJing and like the backyard DJing, and just went on from there.
So is that how you got your start, moving from the little local to more expanding your brand?
Yeah, more expanding the brand, yeah.
Well, I know that you have over 15 years in the business. You think you could tell us about some of your more interesting parts of your career?
Yeah, man, my interesting parts, man, is being on the radio, man. That's why I, got my start to become the ladies' man, then change to HustleBoy DJ Kane. There's a story behind that. I'll tell you that later. And then as I grew up in radio, I went to Satellite XM, and then I moved on back to Little Rock, where I'm at 96.5 now.
Mm-hmm. So I know you do a lot of business with a lot of people in the culture and around the culture. How do you think you are helping advance the culture, or speak on that?
You got to adapt to the culture. That's very important. Some DJs get lost in the culture, because they stuck in the frame mind. Well, you hear a lot of DJ, well, I like the 90s music, or I like this type of music. I don't like the new music. You got to stay with what's popping right now if you want to be a top DJ, because you're not going to get no gig if you can't play what's out there right now.
So you can't really be particular with it.
Nah, you gotta spread out.
You're trying to get whatever you can get.
Yeah.
So I know you're very busy all the time. So how do you manage being a DJ with your family life?
Man, I have this calendar, man. I have to write everything down, man. I have to plan certain days, and then sometimes I have to use the word no. Some people don't like that word, but sometimes you have to say no.
Have you ever passed on an opportunity that you wish you had?
Yeah, I did, man. But all money, they always say all money ain't good money, man. But you gotta have priorities. You see what I'm saying? And I'm blessed enough that I can pass on certain things and certain stuff will open up.
I was gonna say, it didn't seem like it affected you that much. It's still booming now.
Right.
So what are you doing now?
Right now, man, I still DJ on XM. I do occasionally guest DJing on Hip Hop Nation, Shade 4-5, station out of Raleigh, and then I'm just recently got hired as the program director of the new station here in Arkansas, Little Rock 96.5, home of the Breakfast Club in the morning and Big Boy in the afternoons.
So can you tell us a little bit about what your day-to-day is being the programmer for that?
My day-to-day of being a programmer is I program the music and, like you say, adapt to the culture, as what the listeners want to, hear, just straight programming, whether it's drops, programs, music, day-to-day of the station.
So with you program the music, is there any type of particular music that people are into right now?
Well, our format is hip-hop. Hip-hop and R&B, so that's what I focus on. I try to stay up to date with what's coming out, what's been out, and what people like, which they call recurrent, people that like back in the throwbacks,
Well, what is your method for picking or trying to figure out what to do to promote?
You got to do research, man. You got to find out what other markets playing. You got to find out what's the top 40 music, what everybody's listening to, because everybody's basically playing everything across the country, so you gotta study your audience, man. Your demographics.
I was gonna ask you how. I know music choices are kind of differentiate depending on where in the region of America you are, but then you said that most of them are playing the same kind of music.
Yeah.
But do you think that it's a big change depending on the region that you go to or the city you go to? New York?
It is, man, because of course New York is bigger than Arkansas. So, of course, you're going to probably hear a little bit more New York artists, especially as being the birth of hip-hop and like Los Angeles. So it just depends on what market you're in. They're divided in markets. So, of course, you're going to hear something slightly that you might hear in Arkansas, in New York, that you won't hear in Arkansas.
Well, like you said, in New York, they play a lot of New York music, right?
Yeah.
So how do you go about promoting or advancing Arkansas music in Arkansas?
Well, that's up to the Arkansas artists, Arkansas artists, they have to get out and do their research and get their music out and get their brand out and get into the right hands of people in those markets. But, as Arkansas DJs, we can help do that. We can work with them, help them advance to get to different markets.
For the people out here who are trying to push their career further, what would they do to get to you, or how would they come to you about?
Well, they can call me, man. Everybody got my number, 718-593-9095, or you can email me.
I don't know if they heard that, but go ahead and say that number.
Or they 718-593-9095, or they can email me at djkane965thebox@gmail.com.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll see you when we come back from commercial with a special show from DJ Kane.
Got you.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Okay, so now that we're back, if people want to be as successful or want to be sort of like kind of what you do, what do you recommend? How do you recommend from ground up?
Ground up, man. First, you know, I started in college, and then when my career, I was lucky. Everybody's not lucky, so let me say that. You know, I was lucky for my career to start, where I didn't have to have a college degree. Now that I'm back pursuing one, I encourage everyone to go get your degree, and then, you know, it'll be easy for you to advance, especially with this modern day technology. Because when I started, man, it was like dinosaurs, you know, the turntables. Now everything is so technology now, man, and you learn that and stuff in school, and of course Google and stuff.
Especially with a career progression of about 15 plus years, has the standards for the industry changed that much?
Yeah, it's changed a lot, man. Like I say, man, I could go back to the type of equipment, you know, where you was going push button to now you're doing this, and now it's back to push button. I mean, it's not really that much hard work in DJing like it was back then.
It's really just skill.
And
trying to figure out and listen with the crowd.
Skill and, yeah.
How do you go about, like, say you're in a crowd where we're doing a set, how do you go about filling out the crowd?
Man, first thing I do, man, I see what type of crowd it is. If it's a bunch of ladies out there, I'm going to play for the ladies. If it's a bunch of guys out there, I'm going to play for the guys. You know, if it's a mixture crowd, I get a song that both of them like. And then, of course, you know, you either got a hype man or you're your own hype man. You just go from there.
So I know you do a lot of that. So where can people listen to you at? Like, what are some of your most time shows?
Man, they can listen to me on 96.5 The Box. I'm mixing 8 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. Occasionally some on the weekends. If you got satellite radio, you can catch me every first Friday on Hip Hop Nation.
Well, what social media can we get you?
Oh, at Hustle Boy DJ Kane on all social media.
Okay, so that's about it that we have for you, and we would like to see what you can do when we cut to your next show.
Let's do that.
So we're gonna have that.
All
right. I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back. I would like to now reintroduce DJ Kane as he plays out, reminds you all to tune back in a couple weeks. But before we get to that, we're going to ask him. You see we got his equipment here. This all looks foreign to me, but you see we got the turntable. You want to go ahead and tell us a
it's
little
the
bit about
Pioneer DDJ SX2, man. It's a simplified version of the other turntables which I have, which is the Pioneer 1000s, and they have them in 2000. So what they did, they done simplify everything. The program I run, you can see here, it's Serato, and what that does, I load all my music right here, and I just grab music and put it in the little turntable slot.
He's saying it like he grabs music, but this looks way more complicated back here than he's actually leading us.
I put it in there, and then, you know, I can put all my effects, and all I do, man, is scratch and hit a beat and rock the crowd.
As we were talking over there, see this equipment looks spaceship to me. So how do you think from when you started, how big of a difference was it?
It's a big difference, man. Like I said, you know, when I first started, you know, you got regular turntables and everything moved to digital. You know, I learned a little bit. I'm not mastered more like I want to be, but on the turntable with the records, it went from records to everything digital now.
So these right here would be your digital records?
Digital records, that's right.
Just scratch
built-in programs, yeah.
What you got now?
Yeah. So you don't have to break needles now.
Oh, I so you can save all your records down.
Right. And it's convenient, man, because you see it's a carrying case. You know, that's another thing back then with DJing, man. You had to carry all those records, all those equipment, and then, you know, setting up, you rock a crowd, Then you have to tear it all down. Now all you gotta do is just carry a case, hook your laptop and plug it to your speakers. And
So you're ready to DJ whenever you got your equipment,
Ready to go.
pretty much. So, I mean, well, we're going to hear from you in a second, but I'd like to get to look at this for a second.
So I think you said you like Lil Baby, right? That's some of the artists you like.
Well, I like Young Thug, Future, all those type of. You put those in your mixes? I
put all that in there.
I know a couple albums like Lil Wayne's Carter.
Right.
Just dropped.
All that, man.
I know that's gonna be in there. So I think we're gonna have you play us, and thank you for watching the Early Entertainment Show.
First thing I want to say, I want everybody to follow me on my social media at HustleBoy Kane. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. Follow me, see where I'm going. Peace out. Let's go.
Yo, let me tell you why you so special. Hoodin', bang the 45 special. With them, but we never tell the press out. Came on Alakazam pressed out. Still a Playboy bunny on heft out. So we gotta get $1 like Creflo. He said that he want respect, I said that's dope. But that goes both ways like Dej-Lo. Left them other bitches with the stupid face. He said he tryna steal my heart, he got the booster face. I give him time that them other used to waste. He got that, he got that, he got that stupid face.
Feelings, so deep in my feelings. No, this ain't really like me. Can't control my anxiety. Feelings.